Now on CoastTV News.
A cold front headed for Delmarva this morning will put an end to the excessive heat for a while. We're seeing some showers and thunderstorms trying to get going early this morning. Then it will clear out and dry out with more heated times for the week ahead. Details coming up.
Second attempt at first reading. That is what is scheduled tonight in Georgetown. We have the changes to an ordinance being debated about recreational marijuana businesses.
And the liftoff Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go direct to cell.
And SpaceX soaring Sunday. Just over 5 hours ago, the latest mission blasted off. How both East and West Coasts in the U.S. were involved.
Ocean City morning with Wes Moore. Maryland's governor paying a visit this Monday to the Worcester County coast.
This is CoastTV News Today.
It is Monday, June 24th, 2024. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Paige Marley. Thanks for being up with us during this 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, Paige, you and I, we both get up very early in the morning, walking out the door around 2 a.m. It was hot and humid at 2 a.m. Yes. We are waiting for that break in the heat. For sure.
Yeah, very, very hot this morning. I was shocked. I think it was it close to 80 this morning?
Yes.
I think when I checked my app.
That's what the meteorologist guy over there told us.
I think so. Yeah, Bob, is it going to stay this way, or can we expect it to get hotter as the sun gets out?
So that's what I am, the meteorologist guy. Well, first of all, what a weekend. I mean, that heat was no joke. We had temperatures well into the 90s. And driving in this morning, yes, above 80, Paige. It was 84 in my car. Look at this, still 82 to 83 in many areas, 81 in Salisbury and Ocean City, 83 in Millsboro, 82 at Georgetown. Incredible for shortly after 5 a.m. on Monday morning. We're looking at dew point temperatures very warm into the 70s, so it is muggy. And the heat index still feels like 90 in Georgetown and Millsboro. That is incredible for this time of the day. We have a gusty southwest wind as well, but we have a change on the way. A cold front is coming through. Some clouds are increasing. We're seeing some scattered showers across Delmarva. We'll have to see if we see a flare-up of those storms with time as we're watching a cold front dropping in from the north and west. And as that front moves in, I think we could increase those showers and storms around 7 to 9 a.m., maybe some gusty winds, heavy rain, and then it dries out behind that front. We'll be looking at temperatures falling through the 80s, lower dew points into the afternoon hours. So it'll be nice then, but do watch out for those storms this morning and then more comfortable conditions. But more heat is on the way for the week ahead, but no big heat waves. Details coming up.
All right, thanks, Bob. And the heat wave being felt all across the Mid-Atlantic region. Washington, D.C. operating under a heat emergency as temperatures reached 100 degrees there for the first time in 8 years. According to the National Weather Service, Philadelphia experienced an excessive heat warning. That area also saw poor air quality, which could only make conditions worse.
SpaceX completed 2 launches and sent even more than 3 dozen Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit Sunday. SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 rocket carrying 20 Starlink satellites, and look how beautiful that is, including 13 with direct-to-cell capabilities from Vandenberg Space Force Station in California. This was the second mission of the day for SpaceX. It also launched 22 additional Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit Sunday afternoon from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida.
This morning, 2 men are facing charges after Denmarva police say they hurt a 7-year-old child with intellectual disabilities and his mother.
Yeah, so this was on Saturday around 4:30. State park officers were called to Cape Henlopen State Park fishing pier.
The officers say 22-year-old Philip Hartana of Philadelphia and 22-year-old Nicholas Edwards of Wilmington. They were in the water playing spike ball, and the child tried to join them. After being told no, the child splashed Hartana. Police say Hartana aggressively splashed the child and then dunked him underwater for several seconds. Witnesses say the child, who had bleeding scratches on his arm, chest, and back, left the water and told his mother. The mother confronted Hartana and began to yell at him. That's when police say Edwards shoved the mother twice. Hartana and Edwards were arrested, taken to Rehoboth Beach Police Department. Both have since been released.
Happening tonight, marijuana business ordinances in Georgetown take 2. Another first reading is scheduled at the town council meeting. This one has some revisions from the one that was held off earlier this month. In this ordinance, some businesses could open at 7 a.m. The one expected to be read tonight changes the times of operation. Monday through Friday, businesses could be open at 9 in the morning until 8 at night. Saturday hours would be 10 a.m. to 5. Recreational marijuana businesses, however, cannot be open on Sundays. Georgetown is one of the few Sussex County communities that has not banned marijuana after its recreational use became law last year in Delaware.
This morning, investigators in Ocean City are working to determine what happened in a jet ski accident over the weekend. Here's what we know so far. According to the Ocean City Fire Department, this was around 7 p.m. on Saturday at the Route 90 bridge. So a woman was pulled ashore in cardiac arrest. Some of the people witnessing this assisted by administering CPR. Ocean City paramedics also started other life-saving measures. A police officer was injured in these rescue efforts. Both the woman and officer were taken to an area hospital. We do not have an update on either status.
Happening today, Governor Wes Moore is taking a trip to the coast. According to his office, he will first speak at the Maryland Police Executive Association Top Cop Breakfast. He then will give the keynote speech at the Maryland Municipal League Summer Conference. And along with that, he'll be celebrating a grand opening with a ribbon cutting of the Maryland Municipal League Expo Center. All this happening between 8 and 10.
Some new additions when it comes to bicycling. Lewis could move forward this week. The city's Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee will review plans on where bike racks could be placed at George H.P. Smith Park. And they're also expected to look into creating more bureaucracy. This would be in the form of a bike infrastructure subcommittee. That's what's on tap for Tuesday night's meeting.
Lewis and DelDOT are nearing their final leg of their Lewis Bike Plan, and they want to hear your thoughts. According to DelDOT, the Lewis Bike Plan seeks to create a community that encourages walking and biking for fun, errands, maybe even commuting. Officials also have outlined a goal of having safe and well-designed walkways and bikeways. You can see the plans on DelDOT's website and submit any comments you may have on that draft plan by Friday.
Happening tonight, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Edmonton Oilers trail at one point in this series, 3-0. They got off the mat, maybe with some inspiration from Shania Twain, and have won the next 3 in this series. Game 7 tonight in Florida. The Panthers are attempting to win the first cup in franchise history. A win by the Oilers, that'd be the first cup for a Canadian-based team in 31 years. President Biden hunkered down while former President Trump is on the campaign trail ahead of this week's presidential debate. High-stakes rematch set to offer stark contrasts between the two candidates on key issues.
Yeah, these include reproductive rights, as today is the second anniversary of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. NBC's Alice Barr shows us how each candidate is expected to spar with the other.
Debate week kicks off with the two candidates preparing in very different ways to lay out their starkly different visions for America. President Biden huddling with close aides to talk strategy that includes highlighting his opponent's criminal record.
But it's not just to call Donald Trump a convicted felon. It goes to his behavior and it goes to his character.
Former President Trump spent the weekend on the campaign trail mocking his rival's approach.
He's sleeping now, because they want to get him good and strong.
Age and readiness will be central for both candidates on stage, the two oldest to square off in the earliest ever debate of the general election season, letting a wider audience tune in to the candidates' takes on key issues from the economy to immigration and abortion on this second anniversary of the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
Another year since Donald Trump stripped women of our constitutional freedoms, foundational to women's rights.
Protests are planned today outside the U.S. Supreme Court. Former President Trump thanking the conservative justices, including 3 he appointed, who reversed federal abortion protections, while saying he supports exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother.
You have to go with your heart, but you have to also remember you have to get elected.
The countdown now on to a huge test that could be key to who gets elected in November. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Former President Trump says he has decided who his running mate will be. He's not making any announcements yet. He did suggest that the vice presidential pick will be at that debate on Thursday.
All right, well, we're just getting started this hour of Coast TV News Today.
Coming up, this year's Wings of Hope event. It was another success. We'll tell you all the features in support of the cancer community.
Also, Dewey discussing voting. We're telling you a possible change in Dewey Beach that could bring more people to the polls.
And Under Armour under fire. I'll tell you about a lawsuit with shareholders and why Under Armour says it is not an admission of guilt. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Positive, focused,
supportive, and goal-oriented. These are just a few qualities of coaches who inspire their athletes.
Each month, the Preston Automotive Group will select a coach who makes a difference and make a $500 donation to their organization. Then at the end of the year, 3 of these coaches will receive an extra donation to their program.
Nominate your coach today at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com under the Features tab.
Delmarva Sports Network Coach Who Makes a Difference. Brought to you by Preston Automotive Group.
What do you do when your tire goes flat and there's no air anywhere? You reach for Bullseye Pro, the smarter, faster, hands-free way to fill it up with air. Bullseye Pro is equipped with a rechargeable power plant, smart pressure sensor, and custom nozzles. It's like the power of an air compressor in the palm of your hand. Get your complete Bullseye Pro inflation system for just $79.99 and get free shipping. Plus, we'll give you a 50% discount on a second one. Order now.
From empty nester to first home, Accessible Home Builders does it all.
It was great working with Scott at Accessible Builders. He called us every Monday and asked us to come over to the house and each step of the way during the construction of our home.
It was pretty unique working with Scott because not only is he the owner, but he was working in here hands-on with his employees and really just trying to make our vision come to life.
Design your dream home with Accessible Home Builders.
Weather shapes our lives. At CoastTV, First Alert Weather means we are always at work, ensuring you have the information you need.
We have a strong line that begins to press its way through central portions of Sussex.
Because we know how much weather matters to our coastal community.
Make sure you take cover from these storms.
In sunshine or storms, our promise is to guide, inform, and protect. Weather coverage that prioritizes you. CoastTV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment.
Coming up on 512 on this extremely warm Monday morning, Bay Health Cam in Dover looking at some clouds, and we could be looking at showers and storms this morning. But look at these temperatures, 81 to 83 across the area shortly after 5 a.m. That's pretty incredible. Feeling like 90 in Georgetown and Millsboro right now, but that heat is short-lived. We've got clouds moving in, even a few showers popping up across the eastern shore. I think they will start to pop up more as a cold front moves in, triggering showers and storms. So if you're on the golf course this morning, watch out. Some showers and storms, I think, between about 7 and 9 a.m. But then after that, should be good. Not as hot, breezy. The sun comes out, and a high around 87 later today.
Also happening today, Milton officials are expected to review plans that will build a path connecting the Heritage Creek and Cannery Village developments. You can see that area on your screen right now. The Streets and Sidewalks Committee could vote on this at their meeting tonight at 6 p.m. Also happening today in Ellendale, a focus on ways to make the community safer. There will be a community meeting with the goal to determine the needs and develop a plan of action. This is happening tonight, 6 p.m. at the Mount Zion AME Church.
Under Armour has agreed to pay $434 million to settle a 2017 class action lawsuit. Shareholders accused the sports apparel maker and CEO Kevin Plank of intentionally misleading them about the company's financial health. Under Armour has consistently denied the accusations. They said it entered into this agreement in principle, which is not an admission or finding of fault or any wrongdoing. American Express continues to pursue dining-related services. The credit card giant said it bought the restaurant reservation service Talk for $400 million cash. The credit card company bought Talk's rival, Resy, back in 2019. American Express says dining is a growing pending category for its cardholders, and Amex customers spent $100 billion on dining out last year. The beach community could expand rights and mixed reactions. The possibility is getting from locals.
And a very warm Monday morning to start the week for Delmarva. Tyndall's Casual Furniture Camp, 81 in Ocean City right now. But we do get a break from the excessive heat for a couple days, but more 90s are on the way as we go through the week, but not expecting any heat waves, though. I'll have your forecast details coming up in 2 minutes.
NBC News Daily, weekdays at 1 on CoastTV.
Today at 4 on Coast Life, discover the electrifying sounds of Mallow Hill, the band redefining modern blues and rock. Plus, indulge in fun tea and spice flavors perfect for summer refreshment. Coast Life, today at 4 on Coast TV.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness? If you've ever experienced the warning signs of bad circulation, then you need Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way. Soothe pain and calm restless legs. Reduce swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet, and stimulate healthy circulation. Stay active with Legzercise Pro.
Life is all about choices.
And on Delmarva, we know you have a lot of country music stations to choose from.
Well, at Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3, we believe we do more of what you want.
And playing stuff that we love too, like Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen?
Lainey Wilson.
Lainey Wilson.
Plus all the good stuff too, Reba, Brooks and Dunn, Garth, and all the classics in between.
So we're issuing the Coast Country Challenge.
Tune us in for a week and we're sure when you'll accept the challenge,
you'll feel Delmarva proud too.
Take the DSN app with you wherever you go and never miss a game from your favorite local team. Whether you're on the road, stuck at the office, or out with friends and family, the DSN app notifies you when your team is on live, so you can watch the game as it happens or watch videos on demand. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV, download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
We have many truths to speak. Our truths are vast. They are unique. They are always evolving. Most of all, our truths are universal. Pride is universal.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
We are showing you a live look at Ocean City. Hot and muggy so far. Not a lot of activity down there by the water. Water was very refreshing this weekend, Bob, with a lot of that hot weather that we had.
I bet, when you have air temperatures, Matt, in the mid-90s, that water temperature in the 60s, that definitely is refreshing for sure. But we do have some changes on the way. We're watching clouds increasing. It's extremely warm and muggy out there right now. And there's a cold front coming. And with that, I think we will see some showers and storms this morning. Right now, just some very light showers. Eastern Shore around Cambridge. Also farther south near Chincoteague, also a few showers. You can see that around the Cambridge area. Some light showers there. Also down into the Chincoteague area. But we zoom out the shot. The cold front is farther back to our north and west. There's a trough ahead of it. So I think this could enhance some of those showers and storms as we go through the morning. But then once we get behind this front, ooh, it does cool down. That's nice. We take the edge off that excessive heat and the humidity drops as well. And temperatures now are very warm, 81 to 83 all across the area. And those dew point temperatures, anytime you see 70s, that's telling us that air is extremely humid. And the feels like temperature, incredibly, still 90 in Georgetown, 88 in Milton. That's how hot this air mass is. But our 5-day temperature trends show some changes. 87 this afternoon. It is back to 90 on Tuesday, 94 Wednesday, but then it cools down again. Thursday, 88, and then 82 on Friday. So no sustained heat waves as we go through this week, as we're looking at more comfortable weather behind this front today. But it does become humid to very humid again as we go through parts of the week. So it's kind of an up and down thing. Here's Futurecast this morning showing some of these showers and storms coming through, maybe some heavier rain with some of them. And then by noon, I think they clear out and temperatures do start to actually fall a little bit into the afternoon, into the 80s with a northwest wind. It is drier, that humidity noticeably lower. And as we go through the overnight, it'll be much nicer into Tuesday morning with temperatures in the low 60s. And then as we go into Tuesday afternoon, it'll be warm once again, mid to upper 80s, close to 90. But I think the humidity will still be held in check. And then as we go into Wednesday, winds start to turn out of the south, and it does warm up dramatically into the 90s once again. And I think Wednesday night, we do have a chance of seeing some showers and storms with a cold front. We need the rain desperately, and we could see that front swinging through with some storms at that time. And then we do start to dry it out on Thursday. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. Watch for the morning storms today, 87, then it's up to 90 on Tuesday, 94 on Wednesday. I think the storms roll in Wednesday night, and then Thursday, 88 back to 82 on Friday. That'll be nice. And right now, weekend, well, about 50-50. Saturday, 89, and then we're looking at at Sunday, some storms and 92 degrees. Our umbrella winner today is Robin Mendez from Felton. Congratulations, Robin. You have a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Thank you. Dewey Beach is exploring the possibility of expanding voting rights. On Friday, commissioners talked about allowing LLCs, LLPs, and corporations to have one vote in town matters. Right now, anyone who owns property in town, is a resident, or has a lease of 5 years or more has the ability to vote. Coast TV's Elise Weber shows us how those qualifications could become more.
The future of who can and can't vote in the town of Dewey Beach is up for debate. Homeowner Jen Kennedy is against allowing LLCs, LLPs, and corporations to vote because she feels it is wrong.
You know, I'm interested in the local community, and some of the LLCs potentially aren't as invested in the local community, and so I want to make sure that as a homeowner my voice is heard and represented.
But Philip Dennis, whose home is listed as an LLC, says he does care about the town.
People who have an LLC to vote, allowing them to vote is a good idea because for me personally, I'm very invested in the area. I care about every aspect of the community and the environment. I want to make it nice for me and my family and for anyone who comes here to use my house. So it's very important to me.
According to town charter, anyone over the age of 18 is registered to vote and is a bona fide resident, property owner, or has a lease of 5 years or more can vote.
I think it's important, you know, part of the discussion I want to bring up is how do we put guardrails that, like, you can't buy 1,000 properties and you get 1,000 new voters.
Bauer says right now about 1,850 people and entities have the ability to vote. And if Dewey's charter is changed, over 200 more could cast future votes. At this time, this change is just a conversation, and commissioners will discuss the implications of this proposal.
Elisa Weber, Coast TV News.
Commissioner Bauer told Coast TV News in the future, commissioners may vote for a possible change, or it could go to a referendum.
Up next, Wings Fly High. We'll show you this year's Wings of Hope celebration and how the event helped the cancer support community on Delmarva. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Life is all about choices.
And on Delmarva, we know you have a lot of country music stations to choose from.
Well, at Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3, we believe we do more of what you want.
And playing stuff that we love too, like Morgan Wallen. Lainey Wilson. Plus all the good stuff too, Reba, Brooks and Dunn, Garth, and all the classics in between.
So we're issuing the Coast Country Challenge.
Tune us in for a week and we're sure when you'll accept the challenge,
You'll feel Delmarva proud too.
Coast TV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment.
Have you ever needed some help with selection and design layout in your renovated tile bathroom project, kitchen backsplash, or any other tile project? You don't have to go across the bridge. The professionals at East Coast Tile and Flooring offer the largest selection to assist architects, designers, and homeowners on any size project in all price ranges. East Coast Tile and Flooring has the quality, knowledge, and expertise you need. Call East Coast Tile and Flooring today for a design consultation.
Intruders are more likely to target homes with dark zones. Take the bullseye off your house and turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a high-tech security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. During the day, it's disguised as a high-tech security camera. It's completely wireless and installs in just seconds. Powered by solar panels, no batteries needed. It adjusts a full 360 degrees. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. But wait, we can also include a second one. Just pay a separate fee. Plus, we'll give you free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-316-1548 or go online to buybionic360.com. So call 1-800-316-1548 or go to buybionic360.com.
In our coastal communities, every wave has a tale. Coast TV brings these stories home, from the smallest shell in Ocean City to the lighthouse in Lewis. What happens here matters. Every moment, every detail is a chapter in our shared story. We're your neighbors, your friends, woven into the very sands of our community. Our stories are your stories, reflecting the heart and soul of our coastal life. Coast TV, our community, your news, where every story hits close to home.
Well, check this out. Beautiful lady butterflies. They took flight in Milton Memorial Park over the weekend. Their release signifies the cancer journey and is held in the memory of the lives lost. This is all part of the cancer support community, Delaware's Wings of Hope celebration of life. Coast TV news anchor Mallory Metzner was back at the event as MC. Cancer survivor Grace Buckland read a poem, and names were read to honor the lives lost to cancer, those currently battling it, as well as survivors. Local singer Sarah Fry performed as the butterflies were released.
The Brandywine Valley SPCA launching a shelter skip day program. This encourages community members to volunteer and take a dog on a fun outing. Pickups are available Tuesday through Friday from noon to 4. The weekend hours are 11 to 2. You've got to return the dog. You can't keep it forever. An hour, I guess you can if you want, an hour before closing time. Just let them know, if you're going to keep the dog.
All right, well, power is now restored to people in the Harbison area. This is after an outage on Sunday. According to Delaware Electric Cooperative, over 200 people were without power around 4 p.m. As of 1 a.m. this morning, power had been restored completely.
The prolonged heat can, of course, have dangerous health consequences, especially for older adults and children. But everyone is susceptible to heat stroke or heat exhaustion. We sat down with BB Healthcare to learn when you should get into the AC or when you need to get to a hospital.
If you have a little bit of a headache or maybe are dizzy and, you can kind of get to a cool area and hydrate, that's one thing. But certainly if you start throwing up or having any change in mental status, that would be concerning.
And this is especially important if you're planning on heading to the beach, maybe today.
And we bring back First Alert meteorologist Bob Triede. Speaking of spending some time at the beach, he's been tracking the potential of storms and, with that, Paige, maybe some cooler temperatures.
Yeah, we'll take the edge off that excessive heat, guys, with a cold front this morning. That could trigger some showers and storms, so heads up along the beaches for that. Also, a moderate rip current risk, so watch out for that, too. Dangerous in the water, perhaps. Ocean City in the 80s this morning, a slow climb through the 80s. Mid-80s for Fenwick Island as a cold front sweep through. We'll see a northwest wind picking up, and could see some showers in Lewis and Rehoboth early on. Otherwise, drying out. Temperatures into the 80s. On the Bayside in Cambridge, some showers and storms this morning, then drying out for you, mid-80s. Crisfield, also maybe a few showers this morning, then you're topping out into the mid-80s. More heat to come this week, but not the excessive heat and not to the extent like we saw this past weekend. I'll have much more in your forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you so much. Also coming up after the break, making marijuana rules. That's what Georgetown could do tonight regarding marijuana businesses. We're telling you what the town could possibly decide.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore taking a trip to our coast will tell you how he plans to spend his morning in Ocean City.
And a high heat impact, how other parts of the country are dealing with that heat wave. Coast TV News Today will be right back.
Well, this is it, Ryan. What do you think? Impressive, Pat.
Ryan Seacrest is getting ready to take the wheel.
I think what you're going to enjoy most is meeting the players and getting to know the audience at home.
And people feel like they know you, even though they've never met you before.
Because we play ourselves on TV, not a character.
This is what you're like in real life, in the wild?
Well, not dressed like this.
Ryan Seacrest joins Vanna White this fall on Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune on Coast TV.
The big issues: abortion, civil rights, healthcare. When Trump policies were attacking our rights, County Executive Matt Meyer fought back. Now Trump is promising a national abortion ban and huge cuts to healthcare coverage. Matt's healthcare plan will reduce costs, not coverage, by increasing competition on the exchange. And Matt's plan will protect women's access to abortion, always. So call Matt Meyer. Tell him you support his plans to protect Delaware values.
Take the DSN app with you wherever you go and never miss a game from your favorite local team. Whether you're on the road, stuck at the office, or out with friends and family, the DSN app notifies you when your team is on live, so you can watch the game as it happens or watch videos on demand. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV, download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
Welcome to the party. We all make this show together. You guys, this is our show. You just never know who you're going to meet here. You can feel the energy in this room. Every single person needs to be included in these conversations. Let's do this! Let's make everyone's day a little brighter.
Drew Barrymore, weekdays at noon on Coast TV.
Now on Coast TV News.
A cold front headed for Delmarva this morning will put an end to the excessive heat for a while, and maybe some showers and thunderstorms as well. Then clearing and drier later today, but more heat at times for the week ahead. Details coming up.
The heat is on. We look at the impact of the high temperatures are having on this part of the U.S.
Georgetown, reading on weed. We're looking at the next steps in an ordinance on marijuana businesses for the town.
More visit to Maryland's coast. The state's governor set for several events this morning in Ocean City.
This is Coast TV News Today.
June 24th, 2024. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Paige Marley.
The time is 5:30. Paige, we both got some beach time in this weekend. Friday and Saturday, I hit the beaches. Nice breeze both days. Nice relief from the heat. But listening to you, I think you had a different experience.
What is up with the dragonflies?
I didn't have any.
Oh my gosh, I was at Lewis and it was like maybe 1, 2, and then swarms. And it was just, I couldn't get rid of them. I bug sprayed. I was under like a little tent thing.
Big fans.
Oh, well, I'm not big fans of them. I was when they stayed far away. But Bob, is this like, are you like a dragonfly guy? Is this like because of the heat? Like what was up with that?
You're asking the wrong guy. I am not a dragonfly expert. I don't know, but you said you were starting to exterminate them, and then all their friends probably heard the news and started coming after you. So got to be careful out there. We've been dealing with this excessive heat. Look at these temperatures this morning, 81 to 83 degrees. These could be the temperatures at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We've got dew point temperatures into the 70s, very muggy air. It still feels like 90 in Georgetown, 89 in Millsboro, 88 in Milton, but there is relief on the way. Winds are coming out of the southwest ahead of a cold front, and we're starting to see some showers popping up across the eastern shore into the Seaford area. These could start to enhance a little bit with time as a cold front is pressing down on this very hot, humid air mass. So could see some storms as we go through the morning hours. Futurecast is picking up some storms that could be dumping heavy rain between about 7 and 9 a.m. So watch out for that. Boy, we could use the rain, and of course we could use the cool down. A refreshing northwest breeze kicks in behind this. So we're in the 80s this afternoon, but the humidity levels drop and it's much more comfortable into the evening hours. UV index is still very high. It's up to a 9 today. So burn time is 10 minutes and we're in that very high range the next several days. So it's summertime, and make sure you have the higher SPF and protect yourself in the sun.
All right, thank you, Bob. People on Delmarva are not the only ones suffering from the high heat. Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., both are on watch. Nation's capital declared a heat emergency. That as temperatures there reached 100 degrees for the first time in 8 years. According to the National Weather Service, Philadelphia experienced excessive heat warning. The area also saw poor air quality. That could make those conditions there worse. This morning, 2 men are facing charges after Denmark police say they were arrested for hurting a 7-year-old child with intellectual disabilities and his mother. Police say this was on Saturday around 4:30 p.m. State park officers were called to the Cape Henlopen State Park fishing pier for a report of an assault. Officers say Philip Hartana, 22 of Philadelphia, Nicholas Edwards, 22 of Wilmington, they were in the water playing spike ball. That's when the child tried to join, and after being told no, the child splashed Hartana. Police say Hartana aggressively splashed the child back and then dunked him underwater for several seconds. Witnesses say the child, who had bleeding scratches on his chest, arm, and back, left the water, told his mother. The mother confronted Hartana and began to yell at him, and police say Edwards shoved the mother twice. Hartana and Edwards were taken into custody to Rehoboth Beach Police Department and have since been released.
Happening today, Governor Wes Moore is taking a trip to the coast. According to his office, he will first speak at the Maryland Police Executives Association's Top Cop breakfast. He then will give the keynote speech at the Maryland Municipal League Summer Conference. And along with that, he'll be helping celebrate a grand opening of a ribbon cutting of the Maryland Municipal League Expo Center. All this happening between 8 and 10.
Tonight's marijuana business ordinance in Georgetown. Take two. Another first reading scheduled at the town council meeting. This one has revisions from the one held off earlier this month. Now, in this ordinance, businesses could open, well, in the original ordinance, let me go backtrack on that, businesses could open at 7 a.m. The one expected to be read tonight changes the times of operation. Monday through Friday, businesses can be open 9 in the morning to 8 at night. Saturday hours will be 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Recreational marijuana businesses cannot be open on Sundays. Georgetown is one of the few Sussex County communities that has not banned marijuana after its recreational use became law last year in Delaware.
Today marks 2 years since the Supreme Court Dobbs decision effectively overturned Roe v. Wade. The anniversary comes as the High Court considers another potentially monumental abortion case. It could rule any day now whether a federal law mandating emergency care can override a state ban on the procedure.
And meanwhile, the debate over restrictions and protections continues on the state and federal levels. Amy Kiley shows us a look at the abortion battle on the Dobbs anniversary.
Emergencies in pregnancy can happen in a moment.
Today marks 2 years since the Supreme Court overturned the federal right to abortion access.
If I have an emergency, my first call would be my lawyer and my second call would be my doctor.
The Biden campaign says it's holding more than 50 events to rally supporters around the anniversary. The Women's March is calling for strikes in multiple states.
The Dobbs decision ushered in a new era of American politics. It changed for women, but it also changed for democracy.
Others celebrate the High Court ruling.
Roe v. Wade and that decision of it being overturned has given the decision back to the people at the state level, and every state will look different. I think that's appropriate.
This patchwork of state abortion protections and restrictions is the result of the Dobbs ruling.
This is a state that's clear about protecting women and creating equality.
We have women that are suffering, that are driving hundreds of miles for an abortion.
Now, some patients and doctors say the state laws can create confusion, fear, and heartache.
What is often the most devastating time in your life, a complicated pregnancy, and then so much unnecessary suffering added to that because of the strict abortion bans.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And a ruling from the Supreme Court earlier this month protects what might be the most common kind of abortion in the U.S. It lets the FDA continue its approach to regulating the drug mifepristone.
Days away from the first presidential debate, a behind-the-scene contest is also reaching fever pitch in the Trump camp. The clock is ticking for him to choose a running mate before the Republican National Convention next month. As of now, the people seen as most likely are Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, and Senator Mark Rubio of Florida.
Over the weekend, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden campaigned in the battleground Pennsylvania state. She made 2 Women for Biden-Harris campaign stops in that Keystone state. The First Lady highlighted reproductive freedom in light of the anniversary of that Dobbs decision that overturned Roe v. Wade. The campaign has planned dozens of events throughout Tuesday focused on that anniversary.
More news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Still coming up this morning, beating the heat, telling you how businesses on Delmarva are throwing shade, but not in the cool way that you may think.
Also, hot times for the Fighting Phils, the efficient way they were able to complete a winning homestand. Stay with us on CoastTV News Today.
Today at 4 on Coast Life, discover the electrifying sounds of Mallow Hill, the band redefining modern blues and rock. Plus, indulge in fun tea and spice flavors perfect for summer refreshment. Coast Life, today at 4 on Coast TV.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Legzercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Legzercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Legzercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
Wake up smarter.
I've got the 5 things you need to know to start your day.
Take a trip down memory lane.
Remember in elementary school when you would make those boxes?
Find your next furry friend.
His name is Peppy, and he's a 12-year-old Chihuahua mix.
And discover your inner clumsy.
That's a sad sign that you're getting old when you just take a little tumble like that.
Make your mornings brilliant. Join April weekdays from 6 to 10 on 107.1 The Duck. Sponsored by Acme Ceramic Tile Company.
Welcome to the party. You guys, this is our show. You just never know who you're going to meet here. Let's do this.
Drew Barrymore. Weekdays at noon on CoastTV.
Just about 5:40 on this incredibly warm Monday morning. 82 in Salisbury, cloudy skies on our Spicer Brothers cam right now. Seeing a few light showers moving out of the eastern shore area into Seaford. These are light, nothing all that heavy, but we could see an uptick in activity as we go through the morning. Maybe a heavier shower around Chincoteague. Otherwise, it's mainly cloudy. The cold front is still back to our north and west, but as that gets closer, we certainly could be looking at some storms developing later this morning. Temperatures incredibly warm in the low 80s. Feels like temperatures upper 80s to around 90 degrees. Pretty amazing for this time of day with the southwest breeze. So if you're on the golf course, watch for the storms early on. Otherwise, we're looking at drier conditions, lower humidity, and the excessive heat is gone later today. It'll be warm, 87, but much more comfortable. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by Baird, Mendalis, Brockstead, and Federico.
Thank you so much. Happening today in Seaford, DelDOT inviting the public to learn more about some proposed projects to replace the bridge on Old Furnace Road over Nanticoke River. That workshop today at Seaford Middle School will be for people to learn why the replacements are needed and potential improvements that could be made. In Georgetown, there will be a closure on Johnson Road. This is between Lawson Road and Avalon Road. Beginning today, crews will be working on installing a crossroad pipe. That work is expected to last until July 5th. Now some lane closures coming to Route 413 in Maryland this week. An oversized house move will be delaying traffic in Wicomico and Somerset counties. Maryland's Department of Transportation will assist with the house move from Salisbury to Crisfield. This does take place overnight into early morning Tuesday. The move starts at 10 p.m. It'll wrap up Tuesday at 6 a.m. They'll start from Beagland Park Drive in Salisbury to Jacksonville Road in Crisfield. Now that temporary closure will be to accommodate that house move.
On Sunday, the Phillies put the Raps on a 6-game homestand, attempting to win the second of the 2 series played this past week at the park. It's been a good series for the Phils bats, averaging over 6 runs a game. Rubber game of their set with Arizona. It was a scoreless game in the second. And that is until Nick Castellanos pulls it into left. Alec Boehm scores from second. And it is 1-0 Phillies. It stayed that way until the 6th. David Dahl batting with runners in scoring position. Base hit. Bryson Stott scores. Brandon Marsh scores. The Phillies do indeed win the series. They are a National League best, 25 games over 500, and they begin a series in Detroit tonight. Orioles were swept by the Astros. Birds pitching gave up a combined 27 runs in the 3-game series. How about Page's Nationals? 2 runs in the 9th to pull out the win over the Rockies. Get this, since June 7th, the Nats are 11-4. That's the best mark in that stretch in the majors. Shorebirds lose their first game of the second half of the season. Anderson De Los Santos drove in all 3 runs for the Birds, who return home tomorrow night to begin a series with the Lynchburg Hillcats. NASCAR racing this weekend in New England. Christopher Bell takes the checkers for the 3rd time this season. This is a race interrupted by rain. Final 70 laps were run on rain tires. Because it's New England, part of the first place prize is a big lobster. Boy, that thing is huge.
All right, a totally tubular summer concert tour kicks off this week, featuring Thomas Dolby among the artists playing. Rick DeMagella has that story and some more in the Hollywood Minute.
Music fans might just hear Thomas Dolby perform She Blinded Me with Science at the Totally Tubular Festival. Other acts featured in the new wave-themed lineup include The Tubes and Modern English. The tour starts tomorrow in Seattle with dates throughout the month of July.
Willkommen in unserer Abteilung.
Kriminalassistentin Ritter.
The fourth season of German crime thriller Babylon Berlin premieres tomorrow, taking place during the 1930s following the global stock market crash. The series is available to stream subtitled or dubbed in English on MHZ Choice.
Open your eyes and look clearly at what's going on around you.
Kinds of Kindness scores a box office bragging right. Poor Things director Yorgos Lanthimos' new film opened in just 5 locations, scoring a best of the year per theater average for a limited release movie of $70,000. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Beautiful shot at the beach on our Ocean City cam, actually Gateway Subaru cam. And do watch out for rip currents. They have been dangerous across the East Coast. We've also been looking at the excessive heat. That's been dangerous too, but it's going to back off. We get a nice break for a couple days, but then more heat as we go through the week, but no heat waves. I'll have your forecast details after the break.
Download the free CoastTV First Alert Weather app today.
What do you do when your tire goes flat and there's no air anywhere? You reach for Bullseye Pro, the smarter, faster, hands-free way to fill it up with air. Bullseye Pro is equipped with a rechargeable power plant, smart pressure sensor, and custom nozzles. It's like the power of an air compressor in the palm of your hand. Get your complete Bullseye Pro inflation system for just $79.99 and get free shipping. Plus, we'll give you a 50% discount on a second one. Order now.
Join Salisbury PFLAG and Salisbury Allies to celebrate kindness, love, diversity, and inclusion at the Salisbury Pride Festival and Parade, Saturday, June 29th in downtown Salisbury. Enjoy entertainment, exhibits, food, drinks, performances of an eclectic lineup of local talent, and more. Plus, join renowned drag queen, cabaret performer, and Grand Marshal Magnolia Applebottom for the parade that kicks off at 3 p.m. Visit SalisburyPrideParade.com for more info.
Weather shapes our lives. At Coast TV, First Alert Weather means we are always at work, ensuring you have the information you need.
We have a strong line that begins to press its way through central portions of Sussex.
Because we know how much weather matters to our coastal community.
Make sure you take cover from these storms.
In sunshine or storms, our promise is to guide, inform, and protect. Weather coverage that prioritizes you. Coast TV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment.
Join Salisbury PFLAG and Salisbury Allies to celebrate kindness, love, diversity, and inclusion at the Salisbury Pride Festival and Parade, Saturday, June 29th in downtown Salisbury. Enjoy entertainment, exhibits, food, drinks, performances of an eclectic lineup of local talent, and more. Plus, join renowned drag queen, cabaret performer, and Grand Marshal Magnolia Applebottom for the parade that kicks off at 3 p.m. Visit SalisburyPrideParade.com for more info.
Now 5:47, we're going to take a live look now at Ocean City, see what's going on there. And is it windy, Bob? Ooh, look at the water.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's very windy. It's a hot wind, almost like a blowtorch page, because we have temperatures in the 80s. Pretty incredible for this time of day. But we have changes on the way. Clouds are increasing. We're seeing some showers popping up now near Seaford, moving into areas of Sussex County. These are not heavy, but there is a cold front heading our way that could enhance some of these showers and storms as we go through the morning. There's a closer look once again at some of these light showers around Bridgeville and Georgetown. Also a little bit of activity around Chincoteague right now. Widen out the view. We have a cold front back to our north and west, and that will be pushing this very hot air out to sea. But as it does, we could see some showers and storms as we go through this morning. Then behind this front, we've got refreshing high pressure. Yes, lower humidity will be building in. It'll still be warm, but it'll be much more tolerable. Those temperatures right now, they're hot, around 80 to 83 across the area at 5:48 in the morning. Pretty incredible. Dew point temperatures into the 70s, so the feels like temperatures still 80s to around 90 in Georgetown. Pretty amazing for this time of day. 87 this afternoon, 90 on Tuesday with lower humidity. Then we do get a hot day on Wednesday, 94. But then the cold front swings through, cools us back to 88 on Thursday and then 82 on Friday. Here's our muggy meter. We're in the comfortable range once this front swings through. So we'll be looking at the humidity dropping as we go through today into tomorrow. But then it's back midweek, humid to very humid. Then it's kind of up and and down. Looks like it does drop again towards the end of the week. Let's track this on Futurecast. With that front, we could get some heavier rain and some thunderstorms as well through this morning. Let's hope we get some rain, but not everybody's going to see it. That clears out later this morning, and then temperatures behind the rain in the 70s, and then warming back into the 80s, but maybe not as warm as even right now by this afternoon, with a northwest wind and humidity dropping, temperatures falling through the 70s, and very pleasant overnight. We're looking at lows by tomorrow morning in lower 60s. That's about 20 degrees cooler than what we're having right now. And as we go into your Tuesday, it's going to be warm, but much drier, more comfortable, middle to upper 80s, close to 90, cooler at the beaches. Then the winds start to pick up out of the south, and it gets hot on Wednesday, upper 80s and 90s. And then we could see some storms beginning to build in as we go through Wednesday night. Let's hope this is more of a widespread rain. We certainly could use it rather, and then it starts to move on through. Then we do start to dry it out after that. Here's your Paul Davis 7-day forecast. 87 today, some morning storms, then afternoon sunshine, lower humidity, 90 on Tuesday, but a more comfortable 90 with lower humidity. Then the humidity is back Wednesday, 94, some storms Wednesday night, upper 80s Thursday, Friday looking great, lower 80s, and then Saturday 89 with partly cloudy skies and maybe more storms by next Sunday and a high of 92.
All right, thank you, Bob. Over the weekend, blue skies and the sun beating down, the weather impacting lots of local activities on Delmarva with potentially dangerous consequences if you weren't careful.
Yeah, CoastTV's Madeline Overturf shows us how local businesses are keeping their customers and their staff safe.
Lifeguards in Dewey Beach still hit the stands despite sweltering temps, with new precautions such as monitoring sand temperatures.
It's kind of mandatory footwear so we don't end up with blistering and so forth on the sand. It's mandatory umbrella, so every lifeguard stand has to have their umbrella up.
Captain Todd Fritchman says lifeguards take more frequent breaks in the AC. And that's the same protocol at Waves Car Wash in Lewis.
We cycle them in and out into our break room that's air conditioned. You know, get them about 5-10 minutes every hour just to make sure that they stay nice and cool.
Waves says the heat isn't all bad news.
We'll actually get busier because they'll want us to do it rather than they have to do it.
It's good for business at Lavender Fields in Milton, too.
I mean, if it were like this every day all summer, I think it'd be a bigger issue, but lavender's heat resistant and it loves the sun.
Enjoy the great indoors or get outside safely.
Stay hydrated, stay out of the sun, or stay in the ocean.
For Coast TV News, I'm Madeline Overturf.
We now know the name of the 18-year-old Pennsylvania woman who died after being hit by a car in the early morning hours this past Friday. According to Delaware State Police, it was just after midnight when Shayla Montgomery stepped out of a car on the shoulder of Route 1 near Oyster Rocks Road to look for her phone. Officials say while looking, she stepped into the road. That's when a Dodge Charger that was driving in the northbound lane hit her. Montgomery was pronounced dead at the scene.
Coming up on Coast TV News today, avoiding mosquito mistakes, how to get through the summer free of any mosquito-borne illnesses. We'll be right back.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care, women's health services, to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
Turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. Plus, get free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-316-1548 or go online to buybionic360.com. Call now.
When you're close to the land and the sea, you can taste the goodness. The historic Lewis Farmers Market brings farms closer to tables. Meet the growers, talk to the people that milk the cows, and pick the perfect peaches. Organically grown fruits and vegetables, sustainable meats and eggs, A2 dairy products, artisan breads, and fresh local seafood.
The historic Lewis Farmers Market is in the park every Saturday from 8 to noon and at Crooked Hammock Brewery every Wednesday from 8 to 11:30 a.m.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. Nobody can drag me down.
Sun-Kissed Summer Mixtape on 102.5 WBOC.
Sponsored by Baths by Spicer Brothers.
In our coastal communities, every wave has a tale. CoastTV brings these stories home, from the smallest shell in Ocean City to the lighthouse in Lewis. What happens here matters. Every moment, every detail is a chapter in our shared story. We're your neighbors, your friends, woven into the very sands of our community. Our stories are your stories, reflecting the heart and soul of our coastal life. CoastTV, our community, your news, where every story hits close to home.
What animal is deemed the world's deadliest by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention? Believe it or not, it's the mosquito.
Yeah,
not the dragonfly page.
Not the dragonfly, although they were messing with me this weekend. But anyways, the mosquito can spread all kinds of potentially dangerous diseases, and Mandy Gaither shows us more on how to avoid mosquito-borne illnesses this summer.
This time of year, they're out in full force. Mosquitoes are annoying, but also potentially dangerous.
We need to be more cautious about them this time of year just because this is when they're most prevalent.
Emily Speranza with Cleveland Clinic Lerner Research Institute says these pesky insects pose a danger of spreading diseases like malaria, dengue, West Nile virus, yellow fever, Zika, and chikungunya. The CDC says the mosquito kills more people than any other creature in the world.
There are certain groups, such as immunocompromised individuals, elderly and young individuals, that are at higher risk.
You can protect against mosquitoes, keep skin covered when outdoors. You can also wear permethrin-treated clothing and gear to help prevent bites. Use Environmental Protection Agency registered insect repellents and get rid of standing water around your house. That's where the insects like to breed. Speranza says to also be vigilant when traveling this summer.
Warmer areas closer to the equator tend to have more mosquitoes, which then tends to have more transmission possibilities.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Last year, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved the first vaccine to protect against the mosquito-borne chikungunya virus, if it's approved for those 18 and older who are at increased risk of exposure to the virus.
It's now 5:56 this morning. We're going to check in now with our coastal pet of the day.
Today's coastal pet of the day, we're actually talking about two here. Two pups trying to see who's the man of the house. On your screen right now are Asher and Joey. They're in the middle of the battle of the beasts, according to their owner. These two dogs love friendly competition, and they were submitted to us by Judy and Lewis.
Adorable. We want to keep seeing all your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes your pets so special.
Scan that QR code at the top of your screen to submit your furry friend to Coast TV News. Then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
5:57. Time for a quick look at your forecast now before you head out your door.
Yeah, Bob, we are looking, perhaps waiting for a bit of a turn down in the temperature.
We're all waiting for that after that excessive heat, guys. We do get a break, a cold front sliding through as we go through this morning, and that could trigger some showers. Let's hope we get some rain, maybe some thunderstorms too. Then the winds shift to the northwest, and we start to dry it out. Humidity drops, and temperatures, well, they do fall a little bit, actually, from where they are now, but then they rebound back into the mid-80s by the afternoon, around 87, but the humidity much lower this afternoon. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 90 Tuesday. It does get hot again Wednesday, 94, but then a cold front brings storms Wednesday night, cooling down Thursday into Friday. Right now, the weekend, 89 Saturday, and some storms by Sunday, and 92.
Thanks, Bob. Coming up in our next hour, marijuana ordinance reading revision. We have the changes to the Georgetown policy dealing with weed businesses that could move forward tonight. That and more as we continue on Coast TV News Today.